The plan was that by 2030, the UK would have 600,000 international students, but it is 2023 and there are over 680,000 international students in the UK, meaning that there is problem and the UK has to cut down on immigration. Hi guys, my name is Yetty and welcome to another episode of Yettysplashofficial. I share everything about living and relocating in the United Kingdom. On today's episode of Yettysplash, we'll be talking about the latest development, which is that international students in the UK faces what? Deportation after studies. So if this interests you and you want to find out everything, don't go anywhere and stay right into this channel. Welcome back guys. So today we are talking about the latest development in the UK, which is the fact that international students could be deported after their studies if they do not find a work that would sponsor them to remain in the UK. The UK Home Secretary College Birmingham has proposed two things on the 25th of January 2022, which is a continuous action to what? Cut down immigration, and this is a topic that has been ongoing for a long period of time. The current trend is that if you're an international student in the UK and you do not secure a job to sponsor you while studying, you have the opportunity to apply for what is known as post-study work visa. This post-study work visa will allow you to remain in the UK without sponsorship for 2 years. So within these 2 years, you can either save up to apply for another program, or you apply, or you finally get a job that would sponsor you. But what Braverman is now proposing is that immediately you're done with your studies, the post-study work visa should no longer have 2 years validity, but should have 6 months validity. As someone who came into the United Kingdom as an international student, I know for a fact that getting a sponsored job is not beans, literally. Like, it's not an easy task. And 6 years might not be enough for international students to, get this job and then remain in the UK, or even save up for another master's degree or their next line of action. So what the UK government is trying to say, or what Braverman is proposing, is that if you're done with your study, you might no longer have 2 years post-study work visa, and this post-study work visa should be reduced to 6 months. And this is going to be a big issue for international students that have spent so much coming into the country to have just 6 months after their studies. The current trend for countries that offer post-study work visa is that they allow them to stay as long as 2 years, except for the United States, of course, that allow you to stay for a year, but none is as low as 6 months. So if the UK is now proposing this 6 months, this might shun away prospective international students from coming into the country. Then another thing that I've been proposing is the fact that international students are coming to the UK to study on courses that have been classified as low degree. So they are also looking for a way to ensure that people coming into the UK are not just coming to study any course as an opportunity to come into the UK, but they are coming to study either high degree, or they are also coming to study with a reputable university. So this changes might be ongoing. Now, the benefit of this is that if you're currently in the UK, this might not affect you, but for those coming into the UK, it's either you make your move now, especially if you have plans for coming for September intake, or you might start to consider other countries that are friendly to international students. The way Australia is proposing to cut down on immigration is the dependent visa. Now, as an international student coming into the UK, you're allowed to come with your dependents, which is either your partner, your spouse, or your children. So you can relocate to the UK with your family on a dependent visa. Now they are also looking to cut down on immigration and cut down on dependent visas as well. Currently, if you're a master's student, you can come into the UK with your family as your dependent. But what they are proposing is that you should only be allowed to come into the UK if you're on a research postgraduate, or on a postgraduate that takes at least 2 years long. So this is also going to be another problem, because for master students, most of them are coming in and are relocating with their dependents. And in fact, Nigerians and Indians have brought in the highest number of dependents in the last year. And dependent visa is also another way in which immigrants are relocating to the United Kingdom. There might be indeed lots of changes coming up to UK immigration in the nearest future. Now, the beauty of law is that law does not act retrospectively, meaning whatever the position of the law is, it would be in relation to the future and not to past events. So if you are currently an international student in the UK and you have your post-study work visa, you have nothing to worry about. If you have your CAS letter as well, you're coming, or you're planning to come into the UK maybe January, May intake, then you have nothing to worry about. I think for those also coming September, they should ordinarily have nothing to worry about, because this is still being discussed, this is still being debated, nothing has been made, it is not a law yet, the parliament has not passed this yet. So but my fear is for those coming to the UK maybe January next year or 2024 anytime. So we do not know what the position will be at that time, but not to worry. Do not be scared. If the UK is still your preferred study destination, you can still work towards it. But if you're coming in later time, you might have to sit down, re-strategize, rethink, especially if this is a pathway to relocation for you. If you just want to come into the UK to study and then go back to your own country, then you have nothing to worry about. But if this is a pathway for you to relocate, then you might have to plan very well. You might have to also consider other countries like Ireland, for instance, which is also close to the United Kingdom, or maybe Canada. But then, if the UK is your choice, I think you have to plan and strategize properly before you make the move. Something that I would advise is that if you're coming to study in the United Kingdom, then you have to be strategic about it. You have to be sure that the courses you're studying will guarantee you a tier 2 job, because the essence of all of this is that if you're a student, study and go back. That is what they are trying to do. But if you see, nothing has really been said about those on the work visa, and that is because for work visa the UK really needs manpower. Like there are shortage of staff in some occupation or some industry in the United Kingdom, so you cannot really hear them make changes to the work visa. In fact, the easiest pathway and the fastest pathway to permanent residency or indefinite leave to remain in the UK is via the work route and not even the student route. So if you're coming into the UK, whatever course you're going to study, ensure that it is a course that can guarantee your stay. Emphasis on the word guarantee your stay, because now, as an international student, the end goal has to be for you to get a sponsored job or marry a white man. Just kidding, scrap that part. But yeah, that is just what it is. Anyway, my name is Yetty, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to find out everything UK related, study, work, sponsorship, everything. Then this is the right channel. You can also join me on Instagram at Yettysplash. I have all the fun there. You catch me every day, every blessed day, live on Instagram. So join me there. And if you want to talk to me, you can also book a one-to-one conversation with the link in the description box below. I still remain your one and only favorite girl, Yetty. We'll meet again. Stay blessed. Bye.